Is that right? It's a little bit delayed when I'm doing display capture through like this. So if I just close this now, here's my thumbnail thingamabob for Persona 3 Reload that I was working on remotely. Here, and now I go to Elgato, and I deactivate, activate, and then I... Oh, all the Mario Sports. Wait a second. Oh, now I switch my monitor input over? Oh! Is it delayed? It feels pretty good now. I think it was just delayed when I was on game capture there, since we were doing like display capture of the game capture thing. Rob, this is just straight through the capture card that OBS is getting now. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna cut that out or if I'm gonna leave it in. Maybe I should just put like a disclaimer at the beginning of the video that's like, hey, the first 15 minutes of this is just trying to get it set up. I'm cold. I'm putting this blanket over my lap again. I'm putting my legs up on my second computer. That's good now, may have been your end. So, yeah, I was gone for 2.5 weeks down in Texas. I got back home 1 week ago. Yeah, I can do God of War now. I can indeed, but I gotta get through different things. Just emulate the Greek saga? Maybe. That or I have it somewhere in this pile of games. Yeah, there was this classic game store in Houston, Texas. I picked up God of War. Whoa. Well, it's one game out of like multiple. I actually picked up a few interesting old games recently. I actually got this one locally. I got a copy of Xenosaga. That was pretty cool to see that. Down south, I found a copy of Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, so I was like, okay, let's own both versions now. Down there, I figured I'd also pick up a copy of Dragon Age Inquisition, because it's like, okay, I should probably own that to own, like, some local BioWare things. Plus, the person that made the trailer for this game, Dragon Age Inquisition, was the guy who judged all our trailers in my first game design class that I was in. He gave a whole lecture on trailers, and then he came in and, like, judged all of our game trailers and all that, and he described, like, all his thoughts and stuff for the Dragon Age Inquisition trailer, which is pretty cool. And then because my PlayStation 2 still works, my dad kind of wanted to pick up a couple of games that might just be fun to play, just like set up the old console and take it out to the lake or something like that. And I wanted to get this 2-player monster truck game and this old Cabela's game, 2004 season, I think it says. So I got a few games here recently. Speaking of, anyway, speaking of God of War, I don't know if I have space on my shelf. I'll figure this out sometime later. Anyway, Inquisition free on Epic Games this week. Oh. Well, I'll pick it up there too. Now I own it for the 360. But yeah, the PS5 can play PS2 games? I don't believe so. I believe it's back compatible to PS4, but my PS2 still works. Is the case. Last time I owned a PlayStation was a PlayStation 2. So, and my PlayStation 2 still works as long as you don't wiggle the cable too much. So yeah, there's that. Let's see here. Considering buying and sending you a copy of Demon's Souls for shits and giggles so that I'd own it too. Wait, do you technically have my address from that time that I sent you that copy of Xenoblade 3 that you won in like my giveaway and all those 3D printed things? If you still have a record of that? Do Kingdom Hearts for this soundtrack? Don't remember. Okay, I'm clear. You're not able to. No, but yeah. I do actually own the first Kingdom Hearts on PlayStation 2. I got it at a gaming event a little while back. So anyway, hold on. Maybe I shouldn't have selected continue. I should have just shown like my save files, because last time I beat the game. I switched it into story difficulty and I beat the game, because Unicorn Overlord is one of those games that you can just like beat at any time. You just get like a really bad ending if you do that. And it did reveal some stuff about the story. So we defeated Galerius, he fell, and then all of a sudden like he transformed into Elenia. Elaine, I needed to remember his name for a sec there, Elaine's mother. And he was like, wait, what the hell? And then he became Galerius. The real Galerius was the Elaine along the way. And then he was like, aha, I'm more powerful than ever in this new vessel. And he says to Joseph, like, sure, strike me down, you will just become my new vessel. And that already happened in this playthrough. It's already happened in this series. It's not spoilers if you, for anyone that's caught up on this playthrough here. So now it's making me wonder, like, what the heck is going on there? And then the game tells you after you've beaten the game, like, hey, if you want a better ending, do what we tell you. Go to Elheim and find out this stuff with the unicorn ring and all that. So, yeah, that's what no Darkrai Cup on this layout. I'll do it on games where it doesn't block anything on the screen. But when you beat the game, you unlock the hardest difficulty. The hardest difficulty is not unlocked by default. By default, you have access to, I think it's story, easy, normal, and expert. So we were playing on expert. Well, we beat the game on story. We switched to story at the end because you can switch across any of those 4 difficulties. But when you beat the game, there is no New Game Plus in this game or anything, but you do unlock True Zenoiran difficulty as long as you beat it on any difficulty. And if you're on True Zenoiran, you can't get out of True Zenoiran. So I rearranged my save files. If you play on like PS5 or Xbox, apparently you get 50 save files, but on Switch you only get 10. So here's my ones of like the old file, where there was just where we left off before we started committing to try to beat the game. Drakenhold. Does it sound echoey? I guess that's just the music here. Before we went ham on trying to beat the game, this was just before the final map. And then this was like the final step of the final map. And then this was, oh, just before taking on the final map. Well, what's this then? I don't know why I have these 4 here. I don't know what's going on with that. And then I decided that these 6 files will be my True Zenoiran file. So, yeah, I have 22, almost 23 hours in my new file. Because, yeah, it'd be nice if you could just start playing from there on True Zenoiran, or you could just play the hardest difficulty from the get-go, because I always try to play the hardest difficulty here. But nah, you have to beat the game first once first. I can't words. But I was like, hey, if I'm gonna be away for a while, I want a game to play while I'm away. So I started a new file of Unicorn Overlord on True Zenoiran. I got up to basically the place that we're at. Can I grab that? Yoink! Yoink! I got up to basically the place that we're at. And I'm ready to resume here. I am really, really strong now. So hold on. If I show my character list first. First of all, I made a notepad and a list of all the characters and an order that I can try to recruit them to keep them organized here. So it's like all the way up to here. That order is set. You're not changing that. So I was like, all right, how about the next 3 are some of the standard early on dudos, like my archer, gladiator, because he's early on. I think he's your only named gladiator that you get. And then a mercenary, since like they seem really, really strong in this game. And then let's fill up this whole row with magic users, for example, and then have a couple flying units next to each other, have my saints and knights here next to each other, so on and so forth. I tried to keep it organized, and I actually got caught up in a relatively timely manner, and I still had lots of time on that trip where I could be playing games and grinding. So I grinded enough to promote everyone. Everyone is promoted. There's not a single unpromoted unit in my army now. So I went a little bit ham, to say the least. I also don't have everyone recruited that I had recruited on the expert file before. The characters that I got for completing O'er Wood and Water, one of the Elheim missions, I haven't recruited yet, because I was like, alright, I do want to finish off my Drakenhold recruits and then recruit them. I got Rosalind here just because it lined things up so I could have all my sword masters in a row like this. So I recruited Rosalind and Renault like that, and I got my healer over here, because it's like, you recruit Prim, Aramis, and then Berengaria in the same map like that. I wanted to have like, hey, let's have all 3 of my healers like here, even though there's a gap of a couple of units there. And then both mercenaries next to each other. So I'm paying attention to my recruit order. I'm getting organized here, because this is sorting them by the order joined, and I can sort them by other things. But order joined is kind of the default go-to thing. So I'm trying to organize them in order joined. So yeah, I'll recruit some of the characters that I had before again later. But I'm gonna go recruit Gilbert next by doing the mission in Drakenhold that I left up on. The Switch 2 is actually real. Yeah, and Nintendo just dropped like a casual tweet where it's like, by the way, we're gonna reveal that soon. Not in the next Direct that's in June, but sometime in the fiscal year we'll reveal it. Like, it's just some casual any other day. Meanwhile, Sony's in hot water from the whole situation with Helldivers 2. Plus the whole situation where it's like, how many exclusives do they really have on PlayStation anymore? And a lot of people joking that they don't have that many games. And then Xbox that just axed a whole bunch of studios recently and is in hot water. So yeah, Sony and Microsoft aren't doing the greatest right now, but Nintendo's just like sitting pretty, announcing their next console like it's the most casual thing ever. I think that's really funny. Anyway, so everyone's promoted. I had some extra time. I did do one map that I hadn't done before, because it's a grinding map. I tried to trek around exploring as much of Drakenhold and Elheim as I could, and I found a new grinding map, the Sigil's Trial Moderate 3. So I just did that already. Maybe I'll play through it once on stream here just so that I've covered that map on stream. And then that could be part of like this first part where we just dicked around with the capture card a whole bunch. Is what I can do. And yeah, there's a bridge to repair. I discovered a whole bunch of battles and stuff all over the place. I'll pick things up from Jack and Hold here. I'll do this. I'm probably way over leveled for it. But yeah, so I leveled in this a whole bunch and it's how I farmed renown. In addition to just like dumping all my materials on all these villages and getting a whole bunch of renown that way. But then I had extra time. So I started going ham on the mining game. And I actually got pretty good at the mining game. Because this is how you can farm divine shards. And I also got a metric shit ton of gold from it. Because you can just sell the iron and the quartzite stone that you get from this. So you get iron, quartzite stone, and divine shards. Oh, and also like treasure maps that go up to 5. And I unearthed all 5 treasure maps. And I forget what loot they gave me because this was like 3 weeks ago now. Xbox situation is so fine because they closed a bunch of studios that made small, prestigious games like Hi-Fi Rush. And then the CEO of Microsoft, the same guy who announced their closure, said we need to make smaller, more prestigious games for Xbox. Oh, Microsoft. So yeah, I got to learning this game here. Whoa, but I haven't actually played it on my monitor yet. I've literally only played it in handheld mode. On Guzma's couch for the most part. Was the case. No, come on. Sometimes it's hard to turn this guy the exact way that I want him to. Oh, and it's weird hearing these sound effects. Because we were just watching things like the Fallout show while, which I'd already seen before going on the trip. So I was just digging away. And I've gotten pretty good at it here. You just don't always... Oh, I should have done the mighty dig with that small area that I had. So I basically just did this over and over and over again. So I do have a whole lot of gold now. And I've already spent a whole lot of it. Like, I've already gone to the black market merchant and gotten a whole bunch of nice stuff from him. I've gone around Cornea. Oh, that's a divine shard. And gotten a whole bunch of nice stuff. There we go. So, because of all this divine shard farming, I've also gotten a lot of really, really overpowered things early from the divine shard shop. Just because I didn't really have anything else to do, so that's what I ended up doing. I think, what game did I start playing next? I started playing Fire Emblem Engage, and I beat one of the DLC maps in that because I was bored, and I was like, alright, I'm already overpowered enough in Unicorn Overlord here. I think I saved a recording of the time. I was just showing someone Octopath Traveler 2 there. Was it this time? Hold on. So, past this, or maybe it was this one? I just remember there was a time that I did absolutely amazing in the mining, and I was like, holy crap. And yeah, the Fallout show was actually really good. They were saying what Texas does to a motherfucker. Yeah. So I just went ham with my Anna grinding method that I devised of just farming a whole bunch of gold and using that to get skill books by exchanging it in the well. And I got all the skills and stuff that I had in the map in question. Yeah, so 16 things there. Or, yeah. Okay, I don't know why I saved that one. That was a lot of things. But yeah, so I finally had enough skill books to do that, to get up to the amount of skills that I had. So I did it. I cleared that map, and I cleared it a lot easier than I remember it being, even with those skills in my playthrough. I guess I just got like more and more used to Fire Emblem Engage's BS. And if I had more time, I was gonna beat the rest of the DLC, but I didn't have enough skill books to get all the skills that I needed to do, like the weird Gold Mary setup that I do later, and also just make the units that I'm gonna want to in the Tamara and Ivy map. So I was like, if I randomly have some time and I want things to grind, and I'll continue doing that. Like, I could beat the DLC in Fire Emblem Engage on my actual Switch here too, but I don't really need to, per se. It's the kind of thing that I'll just do whenever I feel like it. Just for the bragging rights of, hey, I did it on my Switch as well. Yeah, the whole situation with the forced Alir dodge tank. I did beat that map without having Alir as a dodge tank, but I needed my cheese to beat it in like 2 or 3 turns or whatever it was. And believe you me, I will do the setup on my actual Switch to beat it in 2 or 3 turns, because screw playing that normally. Like, no shot I do that. But I do need to save up more skill books to get the cheese. But yeah, that is the worst decision in that game, IMO, because it pulls a Bravely Default to forcing you into doing certain things. So yeah, I've gotten, like, I can get anything that I want now all the way to the bottom. I think I'm going to save up for this shield. This 16 physical defense, 40% guard rate. I also found out how guard efficiency works. That, if I recall, I'll explain it here shortly. I got these things because they seemed amazing. And I got them set up. So Oh, and when you play on True Zenoiran, you get Luminous Cornash. So in every other difficulty, you get the Hallowed Cornash, but in True Zenoiran, you get the Luminous Cornash. So if I go to System and Options here, now it's True Zenoiran, and I can't alter. Whoa, I didn't change anything, did I? You can't alter this. Across Story and Expert mode, you can change your difficulty whenever you want to anything you want. When you have a True Zenoiran file, you're stuck on True Zenoiran. A difficulty for players who wish to know the despair of unceasing torture. Members of defeated units cannot be redeployed and difficulty cannot be changed once selected. So this difficulty mode does have permadeath, but it's a lot more lenient permadeath than you'd ever see in like a Fire Emblem game. Like even in the most recent Fire Emblem games that have like the Divine Crystal that let you rewind time. In this game, you can just save anywhere and reload anywhere. So you basically have save states is what you can do in the middle of battle. So it's a lot more lenient that way. If a single ally dies in battle, they're not gone. It's only if your entire unit goes down. So your whole squad here. So like if all 4 members went down here and vanished from the map, then they would be down. But it's not even true permadeath because you can use Luminous Cornash to revive and revitalize combatants. The Hallowed Cornash and all the other difficulties, I believe, gives you like another try. I don't actually know what it does. I know you can pop it for more valor in battle, and you can also use it for like extra attempts or something like that. I don't know how it works because I never popped it before in the Thingamabob, but apparently it's like a fail-safe. You can try the map again or something or other, or resume from where you left off. Maybe it revives all your units. I don't know. But in this Luminous Cornash, any units that have retreated and it just counts them as like retreated or out of battle, you can just use this on them and then they're back. So save states, and you can bring them back with an item that you can farm infinitely because you can farm these from that mining mini game. So it has permadeath, but it's actually a really lenient permadeath as a matter of fact. Like if anyone asks, I'll just tell them that it is permadeath and it sounds like a much more intense game difficulty, but it does feel like, well, from what I've heard online, apparently it's not that much harder than Expert. Like, it definitely is. They do definitely up the enemy strength a bit, but I haven't noticed that much of a difference myself. But it could also be because I'm so used to this game now that I've been playing through these maps that gave me so much difficulty, and I've just been whizzing through them because now I know how this game works. So, like, the map that was here, for example, the one where we recruited Sharon and got the ability to recruit Oculus and her shop opened up and stuff. I remember really struggling on getting past the bridge just past this fort on that map. This time I just did it like super easy peasy. Like I'm so much stronger at this game now and I know how to make like much stronger setups. Now that I have all these super OP things, I think that I'm a lot stronger now than I was before with these setups. Oh yeah, and I also completed all the Cornean graveyards because I could. And my reward for it was, I forget because it was a little while back. There's Elder Scrolls Online as like the peak as the character building in that game is so close to perfection for you. Then there's Bravely Default 2. Your idea of perfect character building is what is described in the Overlord novels. Those novels describe the perfect character building system, and it's for an RPG that doesn't exist. That's sad there. And hello, this is Sandwich. Yeah, it's been a while because I've been gonzo. I've been out in Texas playing True Zenoiran difficulty here, as you do in the land of Texas. Oh, I didn't unlock everything here, but I can probably do that here pretty soon. Anyway, so I may as well go through my squads. So this is definitely my most OP one. I have a lane over here. He's on the left side, so if a piercing attack goes through, it'll hit Bruno, because he is the, he can eat that the most. He has the Kingsblade Cornix like he had before for the all stats +5. He has more HP recovery when he's using active skills, which he already kind of has there. Here's Lapis Pendant just so that he can cover some more. And then here's just a little bit of guard rate because I didn't know what to slap on him. We're working at FE Smasher Pass. I want to see it. Is it revised? Or is this like for the whole series that you've been working on there? I gave Yana this from the Divine Shard shop. I saw this in the shop and I was farming Divine Shards because I had the time to. This staff unlocks the ability Trinity Rain, or the attack Trinity Rain, which takes 3 AP, so I can't even use it unless I put on a Carnelian Pendant. Attack all enemies with magic. Everyone gets hit by it. It is a charge attack, which I found out means that you need to take the first turn to charge, and then the second time your turn comes around, you unleash it. But that doesn't matter if you use this other item from the Divine Shard shot, the white cat ear hood, which gives an extra PP, and then these other things, more magic defense, more initiative. So it's just like a Lapis Pendant, but better. Of course, you do need to slap on a Lapis Pendant to use Quick Impetus, because it takes 4 total. But we're up to 4 here. Activates after an ally uses an active skill, allows an ally to act again, and gives them +1 AP. So I needed to set this so that it wouldn't proc for a Lane or a Rosalind. So I set it to be Caster, who has 0 AP because she uses the 3 AP to use Trinity Rain. So the moment she starts doing this, I gave her a Dove Plume so that she'd do it a little bit faster, and then this just to hit harder. She'll just wreck things. Like, he'll just make her wreck things immediately. This is not how I initially designed this squad. I initially designed this squad to be like, hey, let's do some good damage here with her doing the magic conferral onto Bruno, and then he hits like a whole row, was the idea. But then I got these items and I slapped it onto them, and like I might change out these squads with something that might work better for the Trinity Rain setup here, because again, Bruno was going to be my main damage dealer here initially, and now he doesn't even need to attack most of the time, so I could slap someone else here. And the Rosalind here is just kind of on support, doing extra damage, which isn't even needed anymore, because again, this setup was not designed for Trinity Rain. And then there's like the Curing Heal that only do it if a lane really needs it, otherwise for sure do it on the back row. And because that only activates when an ally is hit, here's a first aid kit just to for sure top them up, especially herself, because she gets bonuses when she's at 100% HP with Primus Edge here. So if she's missing a little bit of HP and she doesn't get hit, she doesn't use Curing Heal. So this is just to make sure that she tops herself up. Also, AC Shadows looks interesting given the assassin history of Japan, but man, there's so much races for people online. Yeah, I was browsing around that. Even dislike bombing the Japanese trailer as well. Seriously, every Japanese person you've seen online talk about it is incredibly optimistic. Meanwhile, the English community is losing their shit because they use an actual historical figure who was black. And yeah, a historical figure that I knew about before watching the trailer. One of my history classes that I took, which was the history of East Asia from 1500 to present, which is a lot to put in one course. Like that could easily be divided into multiple courses, because there is a lot to unpack there. One of the units that we had was on Nobunaga's Conquest, and I remember we actually discussed Yasuke a decent bit, and I thought that he was really fascinating to learn about. I was like, whoa, this is a guy that existed and was like one of Nobunaga's most trusted generals? That's really cool, and he sounded like a really fascinating and cool person in the time period there. So when I saw the trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows and I knew who he was, I was like, yo, is that Yasuke? I was hyped, I was popping off, because I knew who he was and what a fascinating person he is. Yeah, that's the actual issue, is the pricing. No doubt, that's good old Ubisoft right there. They haven't even shown any gameplay yet, and already it's like, pre-order now, the standard edition, the gold edition, or the ultimate edition, or whatever the hell they call them. Like, sucks, man. It'd be cool to see some gameplay in terms of the concept of the local shinobi assassin and the foreign black samurai that's been brought over here and has became one of Nobunaga's most trusted generals, and the dynamic between them. It's like, okay, there's a lot of promise here. I hope Ubisoft hits it out of the park with how well the game is made, but we'll see. We'll see how that ends up going. Anyway, that's my lane squad. This squad is set up basically the same as it was on my playthrough before. It's just I moved Berengaria over here and Fran over here, because before I had them like this and I just couldn't see Aubin. That was the case. So I've moved them over so I can actually see my infantry units a little bit better, so it's just for visual purposes. Also, I got this thingamabob. Activates before attacking with an active skill, makes the user's next attack a true strike, and grants the user more attack if they're 100% HP. And high swing hits everybody. So like, yeah. So this should just wreck people even more than it did before. So, you know, there's that. Initiative 35. Yeah, you are going before anyone else. Ice Conferral's going on to you. Yep, that, so this is just gonna wreck people even more than it already did. Also, woman being a ninja is also historically accurate because the Kunoichi did not fuck around. Yeah. So, I'm really looking forward to, seeing how this plays out. The project you've been working on, Professor? Oh, no. Let's have a quick look-see here. You need access. Oh, this is also my Alberta account. But yeah, it's not a shareable link there that you sent, I don't think. Also, I had to think really, really hard for how to devise this squad. I call this squad the Spam Cavaliers and hope for the best. And it works because of Cavalier Call. Grants cavalry allies in the user's row plus 20% attack. And it stacks. So anytime before Clive or Renault attacks, they're going to give like a plus 20% attack buff to all 3 of our lads here. And then we have Miriam in the back for like the whole row heal, just to heal the whole row. Plus, because this whole squad is cavalry, I found out that the squad's mobility is affected by the units that you have in it. So for example, if I made Yana the leader here, then the mobility would go down, obviously be higher with a lane. But if these were all 3 cavalry allies, then his mobility might be like 300. So this squad just zips and zooms around the map with 300 mobility no matter who I select. It is insane here. If there is worry of magic assists, I can always switch over here. So yeah, I have these guys spamming wild rushes on full column, while every single time they do it, giving a 20% buff to the whole row here. And they just kind of kick people's faces in, and they get around the map so fast. It's insane. Like, how do you actually pronounce Renault right? Well, I did pronounce it in the game, so I kind of knew about that. But I switched to a different account here so I don't show the profile picture of my university account. Wait, what's this here? Hold on a hot second. Turn on display capture 2. So-called free thinkers when there's a giant tree in all rest. Oh, yeah. That, wait, so this is all the Smash characters. I don't know if I can make this larger. Whoa. What's this here? Can stop. Knew what would happen. I don't know what's going on there. Chad Hector, heck yeah. Just that guy with Perry. Why do you look like Mio from Triangle, or Milo from Triangle Strategy? It's so hard to read here. Smashed. Smash. Okay, let's see here. Okay, pretty fair. Yeah, that's pretty fair enough there, I'd say. Makes sense. Don't know if there's anything that I object to here. There's no Fire Emblem Fates kiddos or anything. Good. Alright. Alright. Past, let's see here. On some of our Game Boy Advance nerds. I don't even remember the names of some of them. Wait, where's Dorcas? Where's Dorcas? Dorcas is here, right? I don't know where Dorcas is. I don't know. I don't see him. There, no! You're telling me you're not gonna have a Dorcasm? Alright. Kind of surprised on some of these. No. Massive respect, though. Okay. Big Papa respect Elwood. Who are you? Wait, is that as like a meme, or do you actually not know who those 2 are? Oh god, do I remember their names? I know who they are. I don't know if I remember their names. Oh, I should know their names. Dorcas stays where he is. Someone whose last name is a bastardization of Renoa has studied how your family's last name changed. So cool, see, you pronounce it right. Nice. Actually don't know. They're the 2 main sibling characters from Fire Emblem Warriors, like the first Fire Emblem Warriors from 2017, which were released both on the Nintendo Switch and the new Nintendo 3DS, interestingly enough. Also Runic Sword, so you can do magic attack. So if there's someone here that's like really physically strong, then just magic attack them, like an armored Dudo, and just wreck them. So that's what's going on there. So I found out that with Virginia here, she can equip 2 shields, but their effects don't stack. So if I put on a shield that has 6 physical defense and a shield that has 13 physical defense, then all I'm going to get is the 13 physical defense. I'm not going to get the 6 physical defense. So even though she can put on 2 shields, you might accidentally fall into a pitfall of using it in such a way where it doesn't really make much difference. So you can put on 1 for stats and 1 for the effect, like Royal Guard here, for example. Or you can put on 1 for insane physical defense, and this one here that has no physical defense and no extra guard rate, which is fine because we get that from the Blue Rose Shield here anyway. but then plus 20 magical defense. So as you can see here, her magical defense is now higher than her physical defense. We have 32 and 40. So as long as I stand, you shall not pass this great wall is essentially what's going on here. And then Silver Bangle just for more defenses. So I put the crazy fireball setup that I had going on here, and I just have it trying as best as I can here to have someone live with all my conditions here. But yeah, I just have the Auch Selvi, like, I think they pronounce it Auch in game, but I just read that with like the German pronunciation. I have that set up here, and then Chloe just to get up little smidges of health when we're missing it, and also to target certain weaknesses. But yeah, and I can also guard and recover some HP, but I just might not need to all that much of the time. So, especially considering a lot of her skills play into they do more damage the more HP she's missing. So Maiden's Hammer, counterattack a single enemy. Potency increases the less HP the user has, and it's a true strike at 150 physical potency. So Royal Guard here that I get from the blue rose shield, I tell her, like, she gets so little damage so much of the time, so people will hit her and just like give her a tiny little tap. So I tell her, only guard and heal if your own HP is less than 50%. Otherwise, who even gives a shit? And then we get like more damage here out of Maiden's Hammer. So why not? Why not do that? And this is basically just if something targets the back row, here's a way that we can heal our back row. Because I don't really think that Virginia's going to need much in the way of heals. And then, yeah, my Oak Nuke here along with Selvi. Like, this should absolutely wreck things, and then we can provide magical assists. So, yeah, that's this setup here. Oiseau, what even is, which is French for bird, is pronounced oiseau. Wow, the French language infuriates you. Same. Tier list on the right was a tier list when you accidentally drank your mom's papaya juice with a little funky something. But you mean left there? Or because the right was the one that I read. Unless you mean the furthest right where it's like just the GIF. Basically, which Smash character could stop 9/11? Oh, yeah, so that'd be the left there. And then here's my assassination squad. This can also be my assassination squad if I change the leader. I just had this for like the grinding map here. But yeah, I could absolutely have Fran as the leader, or Berengaria if I want more stamina. But yeah, I just had this in the grinding map to break barricades. So this can be an assassination squad too. But this is my main assassination squad, Oculus here. Where it's just like, here's Lex to help cover her if there's arrows coming in. Otherwise, let's do damage and row heal back here in case it calls for it. And I have this set up so it can be like this. Because I learned from beating the game with that one squad that I did, it can be beneficial to have a dodge tank and a physical tank that you can kind of swap between depending on the situation. So that's kind of what I have going on there. Plus just damage this way. Rookie egg that I can take off at some point here, and yeah, this kind of stuff here to be able to do that all and recover some HP as you attack. Over here is where I started getting into the area of I'm not quite as sure, but yeah, dodge tank in the front with Melisandre, and then it's the same kind of idea where depending on the situation I can switch between them like that. I have a healer, and then I just wanted to get a whole bunch of damage here. I believe I have the yeah, there it is, the Gambler's Coin. Buff an ally for their next attack. Grants plus 30% attack, plus 50% critical damage, and minus 50 accuracy. Rolf does not really give a shit, because he will make his attacks true strikes. So we get the upsides of the Gambler's Coin without really having the downsides. And this one here was the activates before an ally attacks against 30% physical attack for an ally's next attack. I don't believe that stacks with the Gambler's Coin. I didn't really bother testing this. So I think that'll just be on Rolf's next attack, which just means, yeah, he's just gonna be hitting things and wrecking things. So minor bits of damage here, some support, and Rolf, how about you murderize things, is basically what's going on in this squad. And I wanted to have my different assisters down here. So here's magical assist, here's range assist, here's healing assist, is basically what's going on in this row of squads. So if I want to set up my squads that will get different assists, then I have one of each ready to call on. Over here, I can always switch into Adel if I need to, but primarily going to rely on Travis. But yeah, I can switch if the situation calls for it. Basically just dodge tank in the front, and he'll be set to passive steal so he can evade a bunch while he's in the front. I can always switch him to Toxic Throw and then put Adel in the front. Here's some support because I wanted to put her somewhere. And then, yeah, if the situation calls for it, do stuff like this. And I had lapis pendants to go around from Divine Shard Shop and collecting a whole bunch of stuff. I can give you another accessory here. I don't really need to give those. I've been collecting so much crap from around the world. I've been stockpiling these gamblers coins. Oh, Prim has one too. What's my setup there? Let me go find out here shortly. Sure, take this, I guess. Where's Prim at? You were here. Yeah, so you have a gambler's coin too, and I'll look at you in a hot second. But yeah, so basically just let's hit some rows, let's hit some individual dudos. This is just like, I was putting some people together. You can heal yourself a little bit if you need to. So if you need to go in the front and take over, you can. So yeah, just another one of those squads where I can switch the two around. Playing Tactics Zone Reborn, goddamn you love the characters, the gameplay, and the story. But oh boy, some of the chapters of the story spike in difficulty. Maybe one day I'll play Tactics Ogre. And then this is basically the squad where it's like, oh, you hit me? Time to die. Because as we found out with the whole following slash, activates after an ally is hit by an attack. Which means we want a physical tank in the front, not a dodge tank. So Hodrick is here, and he's just going to want to be eating damage. He's going to be eating hits, because then both Jeremy and Baroness will punish them for attacking him. And Prim is here to make sure that we stay alive, while also... Yeah, so the inspiration is on Armored. And normally you wouldn't really want to buff an Armored Dudo, because it's like, their attacks suck compared to everyone else. But I gave him this Unwavering Spear that gives him True Thrust. This is a column attacking attack. That's how words work. But it's also a True Strike. So I say, if there's a full column, go for it and prioritize Scout. If not, just go for a Scout. So if there's no full column, then just go for Sting, because that'll be 100 physical potency, more if we're below 50% HP, but this is 80 in comparison. But yeah, if there's a full column or there's scouts, great, destroy them. And then the whole guarding impetus activates after guarding attack, grants the user plus 1 AP, so you can just do it more. Say goodbye to your columns. And his initiative may be a bit low here, but we'll be getting a whole bunch of damage every time he gets hit, because of following slash here, and then the whole killing chain and heavy slash. I did give them both blue spectacles so that they could hit that a little bit more often, because it's 90% hit rate, and it'll grant plus 1 PP if it lands, which means if they keep landing this, they can just keep doing following slash every single time Hodrick gets hit. So yeah, this is my dedicated healing assist squad here. So I mostly have Prim here as like, I could have had like a healer that doesn't do as much heals, like Chloe for example, but she's busy at another squad. And then this is an excuse for, hey, we can have healing assist squad over here, which can also very much hold its own. And then she can also have another purpose in addition to healing by using the gambler's coin here before he goes and wrecks a whole row. So that's my squads here. I think I still have a few loose units. Yeah, Morden, Leia, Aramis, and Magellan that I could turn into a squad. But if I really need to set up a squad for one specific thing, I can always withdraw a squad, take them out, and then rearrange into a new squad with characters I've got loose. So yeah, and that's something really cool that you can do in this game that I really quite like. So yeah, I think I'm really, really strong now. And I'd like to show on this map here. It's level 18, whereas the next story map I'm going to do is like level 13. So despite playing on the hardest difficulty from this point onward in the playthrough, I think I'm going to be really, really OP for the next little while. So yeah, because I was bored. I wanted a game to play. So this map switches between two possibilities like most of these thingamabobs do. Either they're up here, or either they're here. This one I find to be the easier of the two. I always just send out Elaine's unit along with Renault's unit.
Another step on the long road to absolution.
And then I go to unit formation. You'll break gates and barricades more easily. So I do that. I refresh myself on some controls so I can do the whole multi-select thing. I just send them this way to break the barricade. Break that. And then when it breaks, I go and I send you the garrison this way. And then I basically send you guys over here.
The path is set.
And then, yeah, if we want to get into fights here.
I stake my honor on this battle.
Yeah, so I just kind of like to show some of my squads here a little bit. Yeah, strategy. just spam Cavaliers. There are like some really crazy strategies you can do in this game that involve a lot of tactical thinking. And then there's Cavalier spam. Oh, I missed. Oh no. So Cavalier spam is kind of the one freebie strategy where it's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of obvious.
On my honor as a knight.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very over leveled for the next little while. So yeah. And then there's this, maybe outmanned and outgunned, but they are outskilled, that's right. So let's show Trinity Rain here, which I assume is an item the devs probably didn't expect you to get until the very late game, considering how many divine shards it costs, and how many more things you have to buy in the shop just to unlock the ability to buy them. But I had time, I was away, so I got these two things that let me do this. That looks like an end game item. I just have it now. So yeah, I think I'm going to be horrendously OP for the next little while. So yeah, hopefully this next section of the playthrough doesn't become too boring. Oh, just get one shot. Right there. Yeah, so I will probably rearrange this squad at some point to something that just plays into Trinity Rain. Or I just give Trinity Rain to some other squad. Because again, I designed this to be a squad where Elaine's tanking things and doing not half bad damage. Rosalind is helping with the helping a bit with damage and also giving support. Whereas Bruno and Yana are gonna be my main two damage dealers. Yeah, that's not quite how the squad works anymore.
I have reached my destination.
Can I just win with the Cavalier spam? I usually use Elaine to kill there. Oh, with all the assists, I take some damage. Not anymore, I don't. I fucking cast Meteor Swarm. Yeah, that's basically what's going on there. So yeah, this is will row heal that, so who even cares? Attack up 20% for everyone here. Get stunned. Not much damage, but who cares? We have so many more attacks coming. Yeah, the other mercenary can't do that. Because I'm pretty sure you were the one that was attacked. Also, you're stunned. So yeah, pass some heals around. Row heal. So yeah, taking a turn to recover from incapacitation. But you're just gonna get wild rushed again, so it doesn't even matter. Following slash doesn't even matter. More attack up. So yeah. So you know, just get all our health back again. So yeah, it's kind of schnasty, quite frankly. It is a little smidge schnasty. So I can just kill there. Okay, I can't quite kill like that. How about I do this? I know they're getting close to my thing. But like, not like it matters that much. Alright, because I'll win first. Alright, time to die. So, yeah. I'm kind of really, really overpowered now. Ow. In situations like this, Rosalind would be missing health and not heal herself if she didn't have the first aid kit. And then never be able to make use of that 100% HP unless she heals by like some other means. So, yeah, that's why she has the first aid kit, even though it seems kind of weird to have that on someone that can heal other ways. Yeah, so I'd say if he gets debuffed, heal him. Get frozen, nerd. No more bulking up for you. Well, sort of. It'll be nice to recruit some of these elven archers that can just heal debuffs and stats conditions. That'll be pretty neat. But yeah, Trinity Rain. Eagle redeeming absolutely nothing. The best point redemption ever. How's it going today, Eagle? Oh, it didn't quite kill. What am I going to do? So, yeah, this squad is incredibly overpowered, I must say. Wow, I sure gained a whole lot bonus EXP with that, with that Royal Order, didn't I? I don't remember what I got for this. I think it was a Phantom Knight sword. So I got the Phantom Knight shield that's on, what's her face, my dual shield gal, Virginia. I got that from one of the grindy maps. And I think I got a sword for that. Yeah, it is. And I'm pretty sure I got it like way early. Do I have a Phantom Knight sword? Or am I going crazy? I had a Phantom Knight something. Maybe it was a Phantom Knight spear. Ah, yeah, there it is. Phantom Knight spear. So it has no physical attack. It's all magical attack. It gives more magic defense. And you can attack a single enemy and inflict PP -1 on them. So I was like, okay, that's not that half bad on a magic build. I'll use it at some point. Doing good has a situation at work with your manager that resulted in you threatening a lawsuit and investigation from the Ontario Human Rights Commission. Things ended in your favor, to be honest. Well, that's good at least, but geez. Sorry to hear that that's something that had to happen there. Yoink. I'll grab these thingamabobs. That would be very nice. So yeah, I'm really horrendously OP now. Yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out where those all are and get the new spicy thing from this area of the world. And before we do the next map, I want to mention guarding efficiency a little bit. Powering Draught and the whole way that the guarding works, because the game never really explains it. But I did some research into it. I had to read like several articles explaining it before I felt like I had a good understanding. So all the shields will have a rating on them that say, whoops, guard efficiency. So the guard rate there is my chance of actually guarding, but the guard efficiency is how much damage it reduces. So if someone without a shield guards, like I have a 3% guard rate here, I could put on gauntlets and try to guard more. I believe they'll have a 25% guard efficiency, which basically means it reduces the damage that you receive by 25%. Anyone that is wielding a medium shield here will always have plus 25% guard efficiency to bring it up to 50% total, which means that when you guard, it is going to reduce the amount of damage you take by half by having one of these shields here. So no matter which shield I hover over, it is always going to say plus 25% guard efficiency as the first thing there. It doesn't get better than that on one of these shields. It always says that. The great shields, on the other hand, so units like Berengaria, or my armored unit like Hodrick there, are always going to have plus 50% guard efficiency. That's what the great shields give. And that's the case for every great shield, which means in addition to your 25% standard guard efficiency that you have, you're going to be reducing the amount of damage you receive by 75% total when you guard. And then the guard rate is just like your chance of actually guarding. So like, I don't think the game ever really explains it, and looking at guard rate and guard efficiency, it's like, huh? What does this mean? So that's basically how it works, and now I feel like I have a good understanding of it. So if she guards it, she'll receive 75% less damage. If Oben here guards something, then he'll receive 50% less damage. There's probably a better way of showing that in game, but this is the way that they did it. So yeah, there's that. Chronic back pain, so sometimes at work if it gets bad, you grab a chair and sit at the register while taking orders. Boss learned of this and sent you an angry email where she said this was unacceptable job conduct and blah blah blah. Threatened to fire you and respond by signing the Occupational Health and Safety Act, Ontario Human Rights Commission's policy on ableism and employees' legal duty to accommodate, and told him that further threats of termination were illegal. Oh jeez. Yeah, I can't imagine doing a job where I have to stand around myself because I have a, it's called orthostatic intolerance. I have a minor version. There are some people that have it really, really bad, which basically means if I stand in one place for too long, my blood flow slows and I can pass out. So if I was working a job like that, I would have to do that as well, just because, like, not because of pain, but because I get lightheaded and I could literally pass out behind the desk, and that would not be very good. And Taylor's your first shift with him since this whole exchange. Seems he doesn't want to risk a lawsuit. Yeah, probably wouldn't want that. Anyway, yeah, there's the bit about shields. So I'll go do the Ower Wood and Water, and I have to redo this one as well. But I'm recruiting people in a certain order is what I'm trying to do. Also, where'd I put my phone right here because it's almost dead and I needed to plug it in. So iPhone storage full, I'll figure that out later. So yeah, it looks like my plan was to recruit Gilbert, then what's his face's sister, and the guy that comes with him, with her, Gloucester, and then a Wyvern Knight from there. And then I think I'm good on the recruits at Drakenhold. There's the arena person that we saw briefly in a cutscene, but apparently you can't really get her until much later anyway, unless you really, really cheese it over. So then I'll come back and I'll get a whole bunch of the Elven units and then see about... Like, I'll group a whole bunch of the Elven units together and then get my other human units from here, and I'll figure it out. I've got a recruit order planned out, but... Oh, let me confirm. Gilbert was my next planned recruit, right? Yeah. I have it in a notepad in sets of 4, so that I know how it's going to appear on that one screen. That does mean, unfortunately, it doesn't quite line up the same when you go to change out units here. Whoops. I guess if I do something like this. Because they're in rows of 5 here. But the order kind of changes a little bit anyway, because first and foremost, it shows you the units that are in squads and what squad they're in. So this screen wasn't as important to me. So I'm organizing the recruit order by this screen here. It's basically what's going on. So yeah, I should go recruit Gilbert. I have no idea what his setup is going to be. But yeah, I am super OP. But yeah, this dude was not expecting his minimum wage worker to have a legal education. Yeah, if you can make a case for that, then absolutely do that. Yeah, I'll grab a whole bunch of things while I'm here. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff now. I'm very OP. I am probably going to wreck the next several parts of the game, next sections in general. It is going to be great. I think it was the Champion of Order, right? No, okay, it's not. 'Tis not. Can I take you out? I also found out these guys on the overworld don't respawn. So you take them out and you just have honors from them and you can't just farm them infinitely. Which makes sense. I will take all this stuff. Thank you very kindly. Who's not aware of it, is 5 separate HR complaints from you and your co-workers, and people from the head office have begun hanging around more frequently and basically babysit him. The complaints wouldn't get him fired. A lawsuit potential investigation from the Human Rights Commission would 100% get him fired. Jeez, so not a very good person is what you're saying. Also, speaking of HR, one of the, while I was down in the States, I ended up doing the typical family member thing to get for family. For my cousin's 2 kiddos, got them each a pair of socks and a shirt. And the socks that I got for my cousin's older kid, they say, go ahead, call HR. So I went into their place a few days ago. I have a key to their place, so I just let myself in because my cousin, their dad, just says he doesn't care, just come on in. I went downstairs, they're on their computers, I say hi, I just drop these socks on his desk, he looks down at it, reads it, and he breaks out into hysterical laughter. Yeah, I'll fight you. I'll fight you, I'll wreck you. There's only 2 of you! What made you think you could win this? Oh, I didn't even notice it was with this squad. You're probably gonna get one shot. Probably. Let's see. Oh, nope. That's fine. Open smash. Alright, well, absolutely wrecked. I'll grab some more stuff while it's here. I've been playing that mining minigame for so long that I didn't notice that there was all these goodies on the overworld that had respawned. Sweet. Come here. Wow. I guess because flying units have an advantage over Cavalier units and all that. Let's show this squad, just because I haven't shown them yet. I mean, you know the whole Auk and Selfie setup. That's nothing new. Okay. Big smash. The vertical edge. I wasn't super worried there was part of you even hoping this. If you respond negatively, you have CC'd the COO and the CFO and outright bash him for unprofessional behavior. Enough sense not to risk that. Didn't make a peep when you grabbed the chair. They even told the closing supervisor you're allowed to sit. Nice. That's good. Oops, that's not the run button. It's fast forward in battle. But outside here, I have auto run on. Yeah, not quite going to kill there. Here, I'll show this. This is what I'll do. I do like the visual effects on a lot of the Swordmaster skills. Shield bash. Bonk. Yeah, it takes a little bit before roll facts, it seems like. Big spins. Well. What, you didn't Gambler's Coin? Does this setup not work how I thought it would?
I was worried there.
Does it not?
I'll not be defeated.
This is fine. I mean, they're still going to win, but... maybe it doesn't work how I thought it would. Maybe my priorities are set around in different ways. Hold on. Yeah, the higher priority is on the powerful call. Oh, for Melisandre is the case. Whereas he uses the gambler's coin when he has 2 or more PP. I don't know. That must even acknowledge your chronic pain in his initial email. So it would have been a slam dunk lawsuit. So it would have been super easy peasy there. Yeah, let's go recruit Gilbert now. At the another prince. Yeah, so it's not a battle icon on the map. I see. Another prince. Gilbert, having amassed an army within the walls of the Baumrat Colosseum, now stands ready to retake his capital. But when Zenoiran approaches with an army of their own, he and Elaine must mount a defense. I'm pretty sure I'm going to absolutely destroy them now.